Have you ever just looked at your cat and wondered, what is going on in that little head of yours? One minute, they're the sweetest purring machine on your lap, and the next, they're hiding like you're a total stranger. It can feel like a complete mystery. But what if the key to understanding them isn't really about their personality, but about our own daily habits? Right? We tend to say our cats are moody, or stubborn, or just, weird. But what if we're reading the signals all wrong? What if those behaviors aren't character flaws at all, but are actually a direct response to their world feeling unpredictable and just a little bit off? That's really the question we're going to explore. These behaviors, the ones that can drive us absolutely bonkers, are often a cat's only way of shouting for help. They are classic textbook signs of stress. So your pet probably isn't trying to be a bad cat. They might just be telling you that their fundamental sense of security has been shaken because their routine is out of whack. So let's totally reframe this. This isn't about fixing a problem cat. It's about learning to see the world through their eyes. We're going to walk through 6 super common and often completely unintentional mistakes we make that can really disrupt their routine and create all that stress. Okay, first up, and this is a big one, inconsistent feeding times. In our busy lives, it is just so easy to feed the cat whenever we get a free moment. So many of us do this without ever realizing the kind of impact it has.
And this right here just perfectly illustrates the disconnect. For us, a delayed dinner is, a minor inconvenience. But for a cat, their survival instincts are still hardwired from their wild ancestors. A predictable food source is the absolute bedrock of their safety. When meals show up randomly, their entire world feels chaotic and unreliable.
The great news is the fix is incredibly simple. Just by setting and sticking to specific feeding times, you are providing this amazing cornerstone of predictability in their day. This one little change can dramatically lower your cat's daily stress, sending them a really clear message. Hey, don't worry, you're safe and you're taken care of.
So building on that idea of food, our second point is all about the how of feeding, not just the when. Because where you put the bowls and even the type of bowls you use are incredibly important to a cat.
Now here is a term you might have never heard before: whisker fatigue. A cat's whiskers aren't just cute hairs. They are highly sensitive sensory tools, just packed with nerves. So when they're forced into a deep, narrow bowl, they constantly brush against the sides, causing this sensory overload that can actually be painful. Seriously, imagine someone flicking your eyelashes every single time you try to take a bite of food. That's kind of what it can feel like for them.
So the fix here is a simple two-parter. First, separate their food and water. In the wild, a water source near a fresh kill could be contaminated, so cats have this powerful natural instinct to avoid drinking right where they eat. Moving the water bowl just a few feet away can actually encourage them to drink more water. Second, swap out those deep bowls for shallow, wide plates. This completely gets rid of whisker fatigue and makes mealtime a pleasant, painless experience again. Okay, on to mistake number 3. It can be a bit of a sensitive topic, but it is absolutely crucial to your cat's health and their daily happiness. We got to talk about the litter box situation.
Here is the golden rule, and it's a total game changer, especially for multi-cat households. N+1. What that means is you should have 1 litter box for every cat you have, plus 1 extra. So if you have 1 cat, you really need 2 boxes. 2 cats, 3 boxes. Why? Well, cats are private animals, and they instinctively prefer to urinate and defecate in separate, clean places. Forcing them to use 1 toilet for everything creates a whole lot of stress.
When you see behaviors like this, it's so easy to get frustrated. But urinating on your favorite rug isn't an act of revenge. It's often a desperate sign that their litter box feels unsafe, or maybe it's not clean enough, or it's in a really stressful spot. They might also hold it in for way too long, which can lead to really dangerous health problems like urinary tract infections. This isn't bad behavior. It's them trying to communicate. And this quote from the Ohio State University's College of Veterinary Medicine really drives the point home. Stress isn't just an emotional thing for cats. It has real physical consequences. A major disruption in their sense of safety and routine can actually make them act sick, even if they're a perfectly healthy animal. Which leads us right into mistake number 4, which is a massive source of that kind of stress: making sudden, big changes to their physical space. We might love redecorating for the weekend, but for a cat, that can be downright terrifying. Just look at this contrast. To us, rearranging the living room is a fun refresh, but to a cat, you've just completely flipped their entire world upside down. Their territory, which they've so carefully mapped out and marked as safe with their own scent, is suddenly foreign and unpredictable, and that can cause a huge amount of insecurity.
So the gentle fix is to just make changes gradually. Introduce one new piece of furniture at a time and let them check it out on their own terms. And here's a really key tip. Try not to wash all of their blankets and beds at the same time. That familiar smell is a huge source of comfort, so keeping some of it around helps them feel secure while things are changing.
That idea of familiar smells is so important, and it's deeply connected to our next point. Mistake number 5 is ignoring just how powerful scent is in a cat's world. I mean, it's their primary sense, it's how they see the world.
Cats create something called a scent profile. You know when they rub their little cheeks on you or on the corner of the sofa? They're actually depositing pheromones. They're creating this invisible scent map that says, this is safe, this is home, this is mine. Strong artificial smells from things like plug-in air fresheners or scented litters can basically act like a giant eraser on this map, leaving them feeling anxious and lost in their own home.
And while we're on the topic of scents, this is a critical health warning. A lot of essential oils that we find really pleasant, like tea tree, eucalyptus, even lavender, are actually highly toxic to cats. They lack a specific enzyme in their liver to process these compounds. So diffusing them or using them in cleaners can lead to poisoning and even severe organ damage. It is so important to only use cat-safe products in their environment.
And finally, we've arrived at mistake number 6, not providing a predictable outlet for their natural instincts. It's easy to forget that boredom is a major stressor for indoor cats.
This one really taps into a cat's core identity. Cats are predators. That instinct to hunt, stalk, and capture doesn't just vanish because they live indoors with a full food bowl. Without a way to express this powerful drive, all that pent-up energy can turn into anxiety or aggression or other destructive behaviors.
So the best way to help is to build playtime directly into their routine. Just 10 to 15 minutes of interactive play with a wand toy, maybe once or twice a day, mimics that hunt, catch, kill sequence, and it's incredibly satisfying for them. Puzzle feeders make them work for their food, cat trees give them territory to survey from up high, and even just rotating their toys can keep things new and exciting.
As we wrap up, if there is one single thing to take away from all of this, it's this. You don't have to be the perfect cat owner. Your cat is not looking for perfection. They are looking for predictability. A reliable routine is the language of love and security for a cat.
By just observing their behavior and making these small, gentle adjustments, you can really help transform a stressed, seemingly moody cat into a calm, confident, and happy companion. So the real question isn't how to fix your cat, but how can we better understand their world? Thanks so much for joining me.